Hello, everybody. How you feeling?
Welcome to Carlie's Couch. We're glad you're here with us today. We got a real important episode, I think, because every once in a while you got to check back into reality, what's going on with what you're doing every day, and make sure you're on task. So, Carlie?
Here we are. I cannot believe it's already almost July. I'm like, what? What day is it?
Wild.
That's wild to me. I feel like January is like 50, 11 years long, but then the rest of the year flies by.
Yeah.
And so here we are in almost July, or July, man. But today's episode is our mid-year check-in. We want to check in with our goals, check in with where we stand with everything we said we were going to do, all the things that we were working on.
And shout out Damo. Every other episode I shout him out, but shout out Damo. He was like, you guys should do a mid-year check-in because he knows how I write my goals out and stuff like that. So he was like, yeah, that'd be a good episode to do. So I appreciate the content ideas. And also for everybody else listening, on our contact page, we do have a place. Like if you have an idea for something you want us to talk about, you can send that to us.
Yo, shout out to Jermaine because he's been hella consistent. Like, yo, y'all should talk about this or you should talk to this person.
Well, I guess Carlie ain't been following through Jermaine, so I apologize about that. You might want to hit me next. You might want to hit me about that. But Carlie was like, yeah, that's a good idea, bro. No episode. Dang, Jermaine, that's crazy.
When we work on Biz Dad, we talk about it.
Man, shout out Jermaine, bro. We're going to get there.
He be listening to every episode,
We're going to get to your episodes, man. But everybody else, keep suggesting.
Dang, Lex, dang. I mean, I guess that's fitting for a mid-year check-in.
That's wild. She going to make that one of her goals for the rest of the year.
It is, to be better, to do better.
But I think you got to set your goals because I think that even for people who say like New Year's resolutions are stupid or trash, there is still this kind of feeling of like renewing at the beginning of the year and like you're kind of thinking about what you want to do with the year and what track you want to be on. So even if you didn't necessarily set like specific New Year's resolutions, a lot of times we had these kind of goals set and then it's, okay, so now 6-7 months later, so what's happened? And that's something that I think you should do every few months just to see what you're doing, because then you can kind of back it up to see, well, how is your day-to-day really helping you get towards what you say you want to get towards, or are you going to be in the same place next year saying new year, new me?
Yeah. Oh, man. Are you setting yourself up for success? And to be clear, I don't have an issue with new year, new me. Work on you. I feel like you should keep growing. I ain't worked this hard to stay the same. I get it. But are you setting yourself up for success? And I think that's why check-ins are so important, especially for me, to make sure you're actually doing things and not just talking about them and getting high off of that.
So Carlie and I are going to kind of talk about what we had set as far as intentions at the top of the year and where we are now and kind of using that process, I guess, as a guideline for you as well. So now you're officially, I guess, becoming accountability buddies because I'm going to tell you everything that was on my goal list.
Please do, because y'all know Lex is better at setting goals than I am.
But Carlie, what did you have set up? Did you set resolutions, kind of a goals? You said intentions, I think.
I was about to say, yeah, I always set intentions. And those are the easy ones for me because it's something that's really on my heart. And so one of them was to be kinder to myself throughout the process because I can be really harsh towards myself. And so I actually have been doing really, really great with that. So making sure that no matter what's happening or if I make a mistake that I, am kind to myself, a slight reprimand, but then keep it moving and doing better. And then also to making sure I stay more grounded. These are very ethereal, but that's why they're intentions.
I'm about to say, you got those kind of ethereal goals.
That's what I was like, they're very, well, these aren't.
Be a love, light, and kindness to the world. Okay,
more
thank
love,
you.
More light, more light.
All right.
Okay, but.
What's the goals?
Hold on, bro. Hold on. To stay more centered and grounded, because if I'm not taking care of myself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter what goal I set. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to do it well. I'm not going to show up as my full self. And so when I make sure that I'm being kind to myself and I make sure that I'm showing up as my full self, I do better. So now to the concrete goals, let me pull out my passion planner. Because they have this lovely little goal setting thing in the beginning. But I know one of them was to finish my curriculum for Holistically Dope because I've been struggling with actually just putting it on paper. I don't have an issue teaching. I love teaching. But if you tell me to sit down and turn into all these lesson plans and look at the outcomes and all those, that's where I struggle because I'm a little bit of confidence, a little bit I don't want to mess it up, all these things. But I finally sat down and did. I actually text Lex.
Going through the whole thing. I just want to know what the goals are because we're going to talk about how you did them or what you did and didn't do.
Okay. Well, never mind.
What's just what overall, what was your goals?
Okay,
so finish your curriculum.
So to finish my curriculum, to get I wanted to get into like 3 new clients, like specifically for that curriculum. And then I also wanted to get 2 clients on my like strategy, like business side of that. And then I also wanted to do more speaking engagements, but I wasn't very clear about how many. Like I was looking back at it. I was like, oh, I didn't actually say what that was or how many or even what that looked like.
Okay. That was most of your goals? That was all your goals?
I mean, I have more, but go ahead.
Okay. No, you could keep going if you wanted to. I just didn't want you to like dive deep into each of them yet.
Yeah, I'm glad you cut me off because our show was about to.
Yeah.
Oh, the podcast. I wanted to grow the podcast. My 3-year goal is over 2 million followers and listeners, but my 1 year, I just said grow 250, like on our mailing list.
Okay.
Which that's like actually, I should have probably 10x that goal. That's a small one.
Yeah, for me, my goals this year were mostly around financial stability and health and mostly financial stuff, actually. So, like 3 months, I said I would have a financial plan. I said Carlie Couch have at least 500 listeners. I would get my Success Squad off to a start, my course, getting that off to a start. And then I wrote Tiny Balcony because that was going to be my like project to make sure I was getting like plants and stuff outside and chilling out there. And then for the 1 year, it was my credit, directing a short, financial stability, abs, and establishing Film for Colored Girls. A little I say little, but an organization. Oh, and a car. I said I was going to finally give in and get a car this year, which I already kind of have that in a couple months anyway. So that's what I had across. I didn't have anything specific for my business necessarily that I wrote down in my planner. I noticed that, but like overall, it was more so about the foundations of like my finances and stuff like that.
Because that definitely trickles down.
Yeah,
that trickles down into everything else.
Yeah. So now then, with you, what did you get done out of those things?
Okay, so to backtrack. So I finished my curriculum. Like I was super excited. I put it down on paper. It's great because Charlie, shout out to Charlie, was holding me accountable. Was like, hey, can you send me this so I can look at it? I was like, yeah, girl, got you. And then they come out, I was like, all right, I got to send this to Charlie. And so I just finally put it all down on paper, was like working on it and just sent it. And so that's done. I've gotten 1 new client for business.
How long did that take? I'm sorry. Like, was
the curriculum?
Was it something that took a long time, or you just were putting it off?
A little bit of both.
It sounds like you almost making it sound like it's just an outline.
No, it's pretty thorough in like what the overarching theme is, like what exactly happens, like what are the materials, what are the learning objectives and outcomes, like what are the time, like the experience. Like I mean, it's pretty. It's mostly just putting it on paper though.
Okay.
Which I feel like I said was kind of rough for me because I was like, oh, I'm not really a teacher, but I am. But in my head, I was like, I'm not a qualified teacher for this, but whatever. And then got a new client for my business side. I like my business strategy side of what I do, which I'm really excited about. And then my curriculum, I got 1 of the 3 so far. Well,
it's 3 different curriculums you wanted to get done?
No, I did the curriculum, but like getting it into a program, like a school. So
okay, selling it.
Yeah, selling it. So like 1 of the 3. And then, like, what was my other one? So those are the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Still working on building Carlie's Couch stuff. Y'all sign up for the newsletter, carliescouch.com.
Okay. With me, what I got done was I got my mindset type stuff, which I didn't write down, but I had some stuff like that has been easy. The balcony's been easy. My financial plan, I did start working with George. Shout out George, my financial guy. I should shout him out for the episode. But I also had, for financial stability, I had it like set out month by month as far as where I want it to be. So I'm not exactly on for that. I'm kind of behind a little bit because even though I started with him, it still took me forever to like fill in all my bank info and all my stuff in the program. And it took me forever to like finish the budget part. So I'm moving kind of slow. So that's my bad. But kind of move forward a little bit. And then like abs and like the body stuff has been like the easiest thing that's changed easily.
Lex been killing it.
So that's the good stuff and the course. So everything I think I have been working on, some of the big things. But what didn't get done for me is more so that everything is a little behind. So like with the course, I said I wanted that to be done in 3 months, and now we're kind of just finishing the whole outline part of it now.
And how many months in?
Whatever January to right now is July, 6 months. because we're just meeting like once a week and going through it every week like that, or we skip stuff when stuff's happening or whatever. But we have been moving forward with it, and I did not get done. Man, I did not get anything done with the Success Squad stuff, but I'm kind of at a standstill there because I'm like, it feels like the same thing I kind of do with Carlie's Couch a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do is like hit everybody who's signed up and like really just have a conversation with them about like what they would want to do with it maybe.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything with that, so I'm kind of waiting to see like what should I do with it. What about you? Like what's something that you like just did not get done?
So whenever I set my overarching goals, like especially for my business, I didn't realize there was a lot of foundational stuff that I needed to do that we went through, like setting processes, like setting up like all of my marketing, my sales funnels, like all of those things. I'm behind on that. And so what part of the reason that I didn't get my goals done is because I didn't think through all the stuff it would take to get those goals finished.
Oh, right.
And so I was like,
like yeah, your goals should have been
exactly
a little bit up more.
100%. It should have been like a step behind. Like, well, if you have all these foundations, then it's easier to get those sales and get those clients as opposed to kind of trying to do it backwards. And so that's like where I am right now.
But are you happy with your progress so far when you really think about it?
I am. I'm really happy because in my head, I had all these lofty goals of like getting clients and doing all this, like all the like fun kind of glamorous stuff. But I realize it's a lot more work in the trenches, and I really have been doing it, even though it's not my favorite thing to do.
It's kind of fun building it once you kind of get into some of it a little bit, I think.
It is, and just learning like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is not, that's actually not what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, but there's some stuff I know the same things at the beginning of the year that were the most difficult for me are still the most difficult. So I've been mostly challenging myself to, it's not about any goal in specific, but mostly been challenging myself to like really get started with those bigger things and important things first, which has really been changing the game lately. I've been like killing it on my to-do list on like the daily. So overall, I'm okay with the progress. It's a little more behind, but again, that's because of certain obstacles or like people who didn't pay me until like 5 months later and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff that kind of can throw you off a little bit. But some stuff didn't take as long as I thought.
I was about to ask. So I know that you said some stuff put you back. Was there some stuff you thought was going to take longer, but it was actually shorter?
Yeah, like all my health goals were straight, like easy. I just got to go be consistent, and my body changes pretty quickly. But my real goal for that was really to be consistent. But I just put abs because I thought that would be cool. But what else? And I think with like my biz dev stuff, like it actually kind of has been a little shorter time for me to like reset some of my stuff because I have been delegating more.
Yeah.
So I'm able to really at this point it's just about how I spend my time. Like everything could be where it is as long as I'm like actually doing stuff.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
What's funny is I thought like on my year goals, I had my curriculum and that thing took me like maybe like of 2 weeks of like serious, like just sitting down and doing it. And so I realized like it's just actually doing the work and being okay with like making mistakes and revising. Like life is a constant set of revising and iterating.
Yeah, but for me this the financial stuff is taking longer than I thought just because I could pull it up and be like, or he could email me and he's probably telling me like something to do next and I just like leave it unread for weeks. I swear like weeks go by so fast. I don't know why, but I know I'm just like, I don't want to see it because I was just like, don't want to do it, but I need to do it. So I'm moving so slow with that, but that's my fault too.
I think financial stuff just takes a long time in general because I've been trying to work on.
That's just my biggest thing. That's like my slowest thing to like really be fully like jump in and like really doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I made the jump to at least get a guy to help me and be like, all right, man, my stuff's all over the place. And so I'm like moving a little bit, but I'm like fake moving.
Like I said, that happens, but I think financial stuff just takes a long time in general because even when you like send the letters to the people, it just like
and I'm not even talking about like the credit stuff, but like even when I was trying to fill out like my information, like I have so many different random accounts. Like I have so many accounts. It's crazy. And I'm like, man, it's like 2 cents in this random account. Then I have my actual money goes to this account, but then some people pay me to this other account.
This account in the Caymans. Nobody.
Yeah, like not in the Caymans, but like it really is. I get random emails. So to even do my stuff, I had to search my emails for like those random like statement emails and stuff. Like I don't even know what this stuff is. So like kind of how you're saying with your business foundations, I had to go back like, what is this? Like, oh, I had this account. I didn't even know. Like, what's going on?
I think the foundations part takes the longest in general. Man, that's me with my business.
And I think stuff that we don't know or we're not familiar with is the stuff that we kind of like are scared to just really like do. So I'm like, so I don't know why I just get so nervous about all the numbers and stuff that I just be like, I'm just gonna act like I don't see any of
like
it.
Like that, your new favorite emoji.
But overall, man, I've been excited, and I think mid-year check-ins, first of all, like are important. Not first of all, because now we're like in the middle of the episode, but like middle of all, they're important because a lot of times you're not even really aware of where you are if you didn't kind of have something set. Like, you know, you could be cruising and feeling like stuff is good, and then it's the end of the year, or, you know, it's been a few years, which is the even scarier part sometimes when I look back at a few years and I'm like, I'm still in the same thing with some things, you know, but that's scary to have all this time pass by and it's like, oh, I haven't done this thing, or this thing I keep saying I haven't even gotten close. And so just to check in, I think, is a way for you to check yourself. And so it helps me to kind of learn about myself and learning about like, what am I kind of afraid of, or what kind of triggers me with certain things or whatever, because now I'm challenged to really check my progress on it. Like, yo, if I keep skipping this meeting about doing the course and I'm neglecting my own self because I need to take a nap, like what's going on? So it kind of helps me to see how I need to also go in and switch up and change week to week and so forth. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself just from seeing like where you are and how you've progressed?
That, like, kind of how you were talking about, like when you see all the numbers and you're not as familiar, you kind of avoid those things. If you just actually sit down and take the time and do them, they literally, sometimes it sucks, but sometimes you can just knock it out and then you don't have to think about it anymore. And so I've just been tackling things more head on instead of just letting them like linger in the background. And that always makes me feel better and face those fears and then just get them out of the way so I don't have something looming over my head. And then I work better that way. Like I'm much more productive if I do that. I'm also much more productive if I set goals that I notice are in alignment. And you were talking about if we've had goals for years and haven't moved on them, like I've kind of done a self-check, like why do I think I want these things? Or why does this matter? Do I even really want this? Or is
like
this something?
You said, from some of this stuff, you're like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
After you like start doing it.
Yeah, like no, like I don't care about this. Or maybe it's a necessary part of my business, but maybe I don't have to do it. Maybe I can delegate it. Maybe I can pay somebody else to do it, and that I don't always have to do everything.
But I noticed with me too, that's partly why I didn't have so many like straight up work goals, but I have more artsy goals. I have stuff like direct to short, and in my lifetime produce a movie, and then within 3 years films and stuff like that, and more artsy things, because with my work it's transforming more so towards like the content creation and those things. And so now I'm like, okay, I don't have to be like full service social media if I don't really want to do that. Like if I don't want to give you a social media manager and have to do all that stuff with you, if I don't want to do that with my clients, then I don't have to do it. You
don't have to.
So I can kind of shift things, and now my work stuff kind of has shifted more towards those things I like. So that's what I've kind of been able to notice too. And I'm like, yo, I'm not moving forward on certain things, but I am on these, and why? And like, can they be in alignment in a better way? So that's kind of what I've been really figuring out this year, how all of those goals kind of align.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's like setting these goals, but not having them be so rigid and not being open to what the universe has. Because when I originally started my business, I thought that it was going to be mostly for schools and education, but it's actually been a lot more corporate clients lately. And I'm like, okay, universe, like I'm here, like doing these things. I also have I was like rereading my goals. Like I have like cooking classes because I just want to learn more about cooking and I love it. Dance classes. We got to go dance some, like just like fun things too. Like set up some fun stuff for you, not to go back through our play episode, but set up fun goals and things that you care about that might not have anything to do with money.
But then mine just happen to be things that can make money, so I figure, why not?
Why not?
Why not? So based on all of this, what's your assessment now? So we're in July, beginning of July. All right, what are we doing different for the rest of the year?
Definitely filling out my planner. The first half, I look back and it's like, it's like real sad.
But you didn't have it at the very beginning of the year.
That's true, but I had it. I had it 3 months in. I had it in March.
All right,
I had it in March. I have a little bit.
Did that say booty something? Girl, hold up.
What? Booty boot camp. That's a class
I was about to say, I know I
seen
booty on her planner, and I was like, What?
That's why you mind your business.
Plan it out. You got to plan out that playtime.
Yo, you might see some other stuff in here. Mind your business.
Put booty in her planner. Wow.
Mind the business that pays you.
You right.
But so filling out my planner and also having an accountability.
Booty in your planner. That's why you ain't in your goals.
I got some other
That's why you're not in your real goals.
But I've been hitting them other goals though.
Okay.
I haven't, but it's okay.
Dang. Another goal not being met.
God. Okay, so back to focus.
You don't even know what you talk about no more. What you need to do different this year? For the rest of the year, rather.
Work on those goals. But having an accountability partner has really helped me. Like Lex and I have been kind of going through like our stuff, like what our goals, what we're working on, doing check-ins, having people like her and Charlie to be like, hey, what's up?
Every time we do those for the week and we like do our planner, I be feeling mad refreshed for the week though. Do you feel like that? Oh my
God, it feels so good.
After you like fill out, like I'll be like, oh, I know what I'm doing this week.
Exactly. Instead of like, what day is it? What time is it? What do I got to do? Yeah, it feels good just to put it down on paper.
I'll be like, all right.
And then work through it. I'm like, okay, I have a little process. But it's not so rigid that I feel like I can't do it. And then also going back through my goals, one, asking me why is this a goal? What am I actually trying to get from this? And then two, looking at, okay, if getting a new client is my goal, how do I get there? Like, what are the steps that I need to take? So then I can break that down into smaller goals. Like, that's something I'm going to work on.
Okay. Working on breaking it down more. Okay.
What about you?
What I need to do differently is... So a lot of the goals that I'm behind on are the ones that are more personal goals for me, not necessarily business related. And so I need to make sure that even in my non-work time, that instead of like watching 6 episodes of a show on Netflix or something, that I actually like do that also, like some of the life work stuff I need to do.
Yeah.
Because it's just me avoiding it. And so every time I start something, I get through it. So I need to make sure I'm kind of doing that even still. Life work before I'm like Netflixing it up and all that. So that's probably it for me. Because I'll be sitting here watching it knowing like, dang, I should work on that budget, but nah.
Can I also, my goal is to be like on top of my health. Bro, like so consistent with physical therapy, actual therapy, like making sure I do all my checkups. I'm like, man, I feel like a real adult, sadly, but I'm getting it done.
Right, that's good.
I ain't never seen a doctor so much in my life.
Did you feel like for the rest of the year you needed to change some of your goals or take anything out?
I think it's just I think most of it's restructuring, but I feel like I've been so open to what the universe is bringing while doing the work that I kind of do need to change them. They need to flow like yours kind of have been like more about creative and where you're going as opposed to like right where I am. Like that is, I want to make my goals more forward thinking.
Okay. I can't really think of, I think mine were okay. I think I actually could have made more of them is what my thing is because I don't have that much stuff really down. As what I've seen, I've had progress in this year. So I can see I've had progress in a lot of places, but they're not things I like legit thought I was going to focus on. I just ended up getting my stuff together in some places.
Same. I'm adding abs though.
Yeah. But anything else more important that I should focus on? Not so much. For me, it's always been like the consistency of it, So that's always my thing that I need to focus on the most. And so my plan for the second year to get things accomplished is going to be 3 things. And I just said that number without knowing exactly what I was going to say.
Damn, I didn't come with a number.
3 things. It's going to be A, being consistent with the planning week to week so that I know what's going on. It's going to be B, not dropping things like my internal meetings, for example, and it's easy to be like, oh, like that's not a client meeting. Like text them like, can we just not do this today or do this next week? So again, minding my business. And then 3, I would say not avoiding those things that I act like are at the top of my list and say are at the top of my list, making sure I actually do them at the top of my list.
Man, definitely C on mine. That's like the biggest one for me. That'd probably be my A. But also I like those internal meetings. It makes it a lot easier. I remember she was like, hey, when can we do an internal like meeting for the couch? And I was like, huh? Okay, cool. Let's do that. But it's actually helped a lot. So when we get here, it's not like, okay, let's work on everything and record an episode and do stuff. So being more consistent. And then I would also say working on like creating more life work goals. Like I think I am always working towards stuff, but I don't know if I have any goals towards some of those things.
That's like the first ones you were saying before.
Oh, my intentions?
Oh, that's not the same. What do you
what do you
mean by like life goals? like health and money?
Yeah,
and
like
stuff?
I just don't actually write them down. I just like kind of keep working towards them. Like I work out, I eat right, I do all those things, but I don't have like goals. I know I'm trying to get my mile time back down.
I don't really have any goals for that either, though. My goal is just to go. So
consistency.
Right. I was talking to my friend this morning. Actually, I threw my back out in the shower while I was waiting for you to call. I was like, damn, I hope she don't call. I'm sorry, y'all. This episode is so silly. but
And I'm laughing.
I was talking this morning with my friend texting him because I was telling him how he was making fun of me because my jaw pops so much when I eat. And he make like, damn, man, I hate when it be silent.
Your whole body be cracking.
Wow. She tried to get me back because she had booty calls in her planner. He was like, yeah, I hate when you got to turn the TV on because I hate with that noise when you eat. And I'd be like, damn. I was like, my ex threw a basketball in my jaw. Like, I can't help it. And I did not get help. I clayed it out and I just like kept going. And I said that. And then I told him, I was like, yeah, high key, when we was playing basketball the other day, I rolled my ankle and I fell down. I was falling down while I was shooting, but I looked back and I saw he was looking away. No, he was looking away. So I was like, whew, I played it off because I was like, if you had seen me, I was going to drown you in the pool because you can't let nobody see you go out like that. I had Converses on though, and I wasn't ready. So
you crashed yourself?
Yeah. I was like, whoa. But then he wasn't looking. So I was like, bet. I still missed it, but at least I didn't get seen crossing myself and breaking my own ankles. And then, so I told him those two stories this morning. But then later on, Carlie's going to get our podcast equipment. And I was taking a shower real quick. And I bent down to get the lotion. And my back was like, oop. Back was like, and oop. Oh my gosh. And I sat there and my phone was right there. I texted her. I was like, damn, and I just blew my back. So I guess it's a wrap. I'm retired. Like everything falling apart.
Hold on. Crossing your own ankles, blowing your own back out.
Wait, I did. Yeah, I was trying to get the lotion and my back was like, shing. Like it got real tight. So I sat there for a minute and I was like, damn, I hope Carlie don't call me to come down and get this equipment because I had to sit there for like 3 minutes. And then I was like,
but
all
to
right,
be fair,
look, I burnt my hand up yesterday. Like, what is going on?
But y'all know why she has to go get them.
Like 2 days ago, I burned my whole right hand. Like, I went to sleep with the frozen yams in my hand. So, I probably should have check my health insurance plans on my goals for the second half of the year because I'm out here doing bad. I'm out here doing bad, y'all.
But she has to come get the podcast equipment because I sprained my wrist in a boxing class. So I've been going to physical therapy for my wrist. I can't even be struggling.
So health is important. So you got to have those personal health goals. I didn't really have that many. I just wanted to go look good. But apparently it's more about the inside and stretching and
the
stuff.
first part, you look real good.
Right. It looks good. Appreciate y'all for encouraging my journey as everything else pops out of place.
But we have something exciting happening soon. What we doing?
So we are doing our first live podcast episode.
Yay.
We're recording on Wednesday, the 17th of July at 6:30 Pacific time. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I still count on my fingers. 9:30 Eastern. My burnt fingers. And what we're going to do, we'll send you all the information later on, but we just want to put it in front of you mostly now because we're doing a challenge leading up to that live episode. So in this live episode, you can engage with us during then. Like we'll be talking to you as we're like recording and talking. But going up to it, we have some challenge for you to do so you guys can come prepared. So I think we're calling it, I don't know if we said for sure, but I think we're calling it like our level up episode with it being a live episode. And the focus is going to be on goal setting. Yeah. So kind of going with what we're talking about with the mid-year check-in. So I guess this is a way that we all can do this, but like we're really going to get into like the technique of setting your goals and why and how. So we really, really want you to go to the site and check out the new area that we put up there for this specific live episode and put your email and we'll get you in to start doing the challenge.
Carlie'sCouch.com. Like I said, it'll be on the website. Well, like she said, it'll be on the website. And the live show will be Wednesday, July 17th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
So we hope you'll do the challenge with us that leads up to it. But if anything, we still for sure want you to put the 17th. Go ahead and put it on your calendar now. That's why we're saying it. So you can be ready. Yep, put it on the planner after the booty call, please. Wait, not after. Right, come refreshed.
Or before, depending on what kind it is.
Or before, I don't know. Depends.
Maybe both.
Right, whatever you need to do.
To set them goals.
Just put it on there 6:30, 9:30, and join us via, I think it's going to be through Google Live, through YouTube, but we're going to have the whole live set up and all of that. So we'll get you that information.
Okay. And then do you want to shout out your financial person?
No, because I can't think of what the name of his thing is right this second.
Okay. So next time. So then we have the question.
I'll put it in the notes.
We have the, so y'all check the notes for the shout out, get your finances right, get your money right. And then we have the question of the week. Lex, what can you stop beating yourself up over? What can you stop beating yourself up over?
I thought I had an answer for this, but I think it was going to be fake because I'm like extra fake, double deep now. Because I was about to say like kind of being hard on myself and not getting stuff done, but I don't think that's true. I think lately I've been apathetic. I have been pretty kind to myself and like being like, oh, whatever. So I might be too apathetic. But I can stop beating myself up over, I don't know. I'm not really sure right now.
Okay, that's okay. The good news is we don't always have to have answers to things, which is great. And I think this is the first time this happened.
I think I've been kind of cruising like, all right.
Yeah.
Even if something bad is happening, I'm like, all right.
Which is cool, which is good.
Yeah.
I feel like I have too, like been cruising, been a lot more kind to myself. Like that's a daily goal. But if I had to find an answer, I couldn't stop beating myself up over not dealing with trauma in the past that I don't. Let me fix this. Not dealing with stuff in the past that I didn't know I didn't deal with. Because sometimes we go through things in life and we think we're past it and we're good. And then you get triggered or something happens and you realize that it still kind of affects you. And I feel like for me, sometimes that makes me mad. I'm like, man, why am I still even bothered by that? I'm done. Like that was 20 years ago. But I'm still bothered by it. But realizing that, I'm human. And the best news is now I can deal with it. But whereas before I thought it was just something that I was past.
Like something that's specific or just overall?
I mean, it's like it's a lot of different things. There are like specific instances, but it's like overall.
Okay.
Yeah. So what can you stop beating yourself up over?
Yep. Hopefully it's not being behind on your goals, but if it is, join us on the 17th again. And we hope that listening to us and talking about where we are, what we haven't done, what I've dropped the ball on, what I've done okay on, will inspire you to kind of think about where you are at the middle of the year and, if anything from here out where you want to be, which is okay if you're starting right now. So I want you to be thinking about that. Do your own mid-year check-in. Hit us on Instagram, Twitter, Carlie's Couch, Lextopia, Carlie.
CC Fierce.
Carlie Carpio and CC Fierce. And just let us know what's on your mind.
Yep. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day.
Bye.